Darvin, what are some of the things that defensively that you feel like weren't there tonight for whatever reason, and how do you kind of get back to what you've been doing on that end to start the season?
I mean, take your hat off to Utah. They have a really talented ball club of guys that really know how to play, high-level IQ guys that really, once they get into actions, it's multiple actions after multiple action after multiple actions, and they're all able to catch and shoot. Just our stick hands getting out early, trying to run them off the three-point line. They had 8 threes in the first quarter. So that's kind of tough, and it's always difficult if we're not being who we are in terms of getting defensive stops, but we're scoring. We're scoring enough points. We're not, being who we are first and foremost, and that's making it difficult for the other team. And so that's not anything that we as a coaching staff, we as a franchise enjoys, especially trying to change that tone, change that culture to be one of those physical teams where the opposing team feels us. But they credit them. They got on their home floor and they started spraying it. Came out early, set a good tone for themselves, knocking down shots.
At this point, are you expecting to be able to get most of the guys back for next game?
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll check with our medical staff and see where everyone is. What's the status?
What needs to change to win on a higher level consistently?
I mean, we just got to be more together and the little detail things, being good in transition defense, being good contesting shots without fouling, and everyone gang rebounding, not, coming up with more of those 50-50 balls. Always seems the trend is now, with us is we don't get a 50-50 ball, we don't get a defensive rebound, it turns into threes and one foul or something like that. So just those 3 areas. If we're better in transition defensively, if we're better contesting shots without fouling, and if we're better getting defensive rebounds, you'll see a huge improvement in us being back to where we were at the very beginning of the season.
Darvin, typically in the last couple of years, it just seems like AD is this guy who's said a lot, we're going to be fine. We need time to come together. After some of the losses this season, he seems to, at least in this setting, take that very hard. And I'm wondering maybe what you're seeing out of one of your leaders and in terms of his spirit and trying to capture it in the wake of how you guys have started the season.
I mean, we beat 2 really good teams in Denver and New Orleans. Albeit, Brandon Ingram wasn't available from New Orleans, neither Herb Jones. But I would say this, man, and write it, quote it, however. This may be happening now at the outset of what we're trying to force to be a culture change in terms of getting us back to being highly competitive on a highly consistent basis. But it's not going to always be like this. We're going to turn the corner. I didn't come here to lose. They didn't bring me here to lose. But there is a process involved where we have to go through tough times. Like, I want to bottle this up. I want to embrace it. I want to have it and store it. So when things are turned around and we get too comfortable and we start complaining about some problems that are not necessarily even problems that winning teams go through, I want to be able to reflect on these times. But I don't want anybody around me with a defeatist mentality. I don't want anybody around me that's not competitive. I don't want anyone around me that's selfish. We got to be on the same page at all times through the good, bad, and indifferent. And that's all I can say about that. And that's not directed at AD. It's human nature to feel down about different losses and different circumstances that doesn't go your way. But at the end of the day, I couldn't afford to live without seeing the glass half full. I was raised like that, with faith, with God in my life, and I've always seen the glass half full, irregardless of the circumstance. And it is damn sure not going to stop now. We're going to push through this, and we're going to be better for it.
What do you think is going to happen to start that turnaround? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, we just got to get
make
back
the
to our
change?
principles. We got to get back to what we were doing earlier. We were really detailed. We held some really high-powered teams to hell. We were, I think, 2 or 3 in defensive efficiency at one point. So we got to get back to doing that. And when you have a really good, effective, consistent defense, then you're going to find ways to score. And, you know, we hadn't been stopping anybody and still scoring at a high level. So at some point, those two are going to catch up with one another and parallel each other. But we just got to keep working day in and day out. Keep working. We can't get discouraged. The season is too long. We can't get discouraged after 10 games. That'll be 2-8, 2-7, whatever the hell our record is. It's too early. Like, and it should never happen for that matter. We should fight till there's no more time on the clock. But I think we'll be fine. And again, I know we'll be fine. Like, because I'm not going to stop. My staff is not going to stop, and our organization is not going to stop trying to be as the best versions of ourselves, as competitive as possible.
Darvin, Damian Jones gave you some productive minutes tonight. We haven't seen a ton of them this year, and we were talking to AD. He reflected on a time when he played more of a roaming style defense, and he had a big man behind him. Obviously, when you were talking about being second and third in defensive efficiency, it was with AD at the 5, so we've seen it work. But is there any thought to give that lineup a look?
I mean, we have to give everything a look now, Dave, because we don't have bodies available. And that's been another thing that is circumstantial, you know, not to make any excuses whatsoever. But you got to have your people available. Like, we're missing Brian tonight, we're missing Lonnie, we're missing Dennis, we're missing Pat Bev, and it's all for legit reasons. And so, and it's kind of been that all year trying to navigate that. And I don't know if any team ever has its full set of players at one particular time, but if we can get most of our players going forward, we'll be able to see what works and what rotations that we can land on and push through the rest of the season with. But when you're dealing with sicknesses, you know, different ailments, or just a guy having a history of injury, and you're trying to be efficient and careful with them and being on the front side of the cautiousness, it gets hard. And so, but it was good. I thought Damian played well tonight. I thought Winion played well tonight. It was good to see K. Nunn have success out there tonight. It was good to see our rookie, Max Christie, play really well in real minutes tonight. So we have some good that you know, it's not all bad. We have some good things that reveal themselves to us from within our camp today.
Darvin, understanding that you could be big picture and be positive and view things that way, but you've got LeBron is in year 20, AD has missed functionally 2 seasons. How do you keep their patience? I don't know if that's even the right word, but their mindset not in the disappointment and the frustration of 2-8 and kind of along for the build with you, I guess.
I mean, just you have to put all cards on the table. We can't act like something is happening and that isn't real. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I mean, like, from the way our salary is constructed, our salary cap and our budget, all the way to, you know, injuries, guys being available, playing style, new coaching staff, like, and guys having to buy in to how we're playing and what we're doing. So all of that is real. And guys having to step up and play better. Some of our younger guys, some guys who don't have as much experience in the league that are in our rotation, they have to step up, have that confidence, and play better. And those are just the real facets of our game. We can't go out. We're in the tax. We're a tax offender, right? We just can't go out and start spending money everywhere to build a team. We have 3 big-time future Hall of Fame, first ballot future Hall of Famers that a chunk of our budget is being spent on, and there's only so much left. So we have to do our due diligence and go out and again, establish the way we want to play, which I thought we've been doing. We've regressed a little bit defensively. Our offense have come around here of late, and just keep fighting a good fight, pushing forward one day at a time, man. But just having honest dialogue, not sugarcoating anything, looking at everything for what it is and being real, like being real. We're not one of these teams right now, as of right now, where we have 30, 40, 50 million in cap space. We don't have that today.
Do those three guys have to give you more?
Huh?
Do those three guys that are that much of your roster, your payroll?
Again, Bron is managing his foot, just coming off a viral infection. AD, has been managing his back. He's been available and playing well, putting up good numbers, as with LeBron. Russ has embraced his role off the bench, and so I feel comfortable where I can give more. We all can give more, but I'm comfortable with what they're doing right now.